Hi guys, in this video we're going to cover a simultaneous equation from the MCAT. So we have Tane and Pete are fundraising for their sports trip. Between them they need to raise $1,000. There's only 5 weeks until they need the money. Okay, that must come into it. Tane gets paid $15 an hour and Pete gets paid $16 an hour as he has more experience. Between them they work a total of 13 hours per week. What is the average number of hours each of them need to work per week? Okay, so we're looking at per week to have the exactly right amount of money. Okay, so they need $1,000, but there's only 5 weeks, so we need to divide that value. So we need $1,000 in total divided by 5 weeks is $200 per week. So we also know that Tane and Pete work 13 hours. Okay, so T and P are going to be how many hours Tane and Pete work. And we also know that Tane gets $15 per hour. So 15 times T, which is the number of hours Tane works, plus 16 times P, which is the number of hours that Pete works. And that has to equal 200. Okay. So that's going to be the equations that we're going to use, these two here, but we don't have enough room here, so I'm just going to make a new screen and I'll rewrite it. Okay, so there's two ways we can go about solving this. We can use the elimination method or the substitution method. I think we'll do both, but we'll start with the elimination method. So to do that, we need to be able to subtract or add these two equations together. So equation 1 and equation 2. So that either the t's or the p's equate to 0. So to do that, I'm actually going to have to times 2 times 15. So we get 15 t's here, 15 t's in equation 2. So it's actually going to be 15t plus p times 15, which is 15p, and that should work out nicely. And then now 13 times 15. Okay, so you might on the corner of your page have to multiply them out. So 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 3, 45, and then 0, 1 is 5, and 1 again is. So we have 195, okay, equals 195. So that is equation number 3. So now we have 15t's, 15t's. They're both positive, so I'm actually going to subtract. We're going to do 1 minus 3 to eliminate the t's. Okay, so 15 take away 15 is no more t's. 16 take away 15 leaves us with just a p. And oh, this is nice and easy. 200 take away 195 is 5. So we already know that p, which is the number of hours that Pete does, is 5. Okay, so now all we need to do is substitute for p. We're going to substitute in 2. So sub for p in equation 2. So we know that t plus 5 for Pete is equal to 13. So t is equal to 8. So we can just write our final answer here. So we have Tane works 8 hours and Pete works 5 hours. Okay, that will get them the exact amount. Now let's just have a look at the other way of doing it. So I'll just rewrite it so we can just work down the page again. So we have 15t plus 16p equals 200 and t plus p equals 13. Okay. So there's our original equations again. And this time I'm going to use the substitution method. So here we took one away from the other so we could get rid of a variable. This time around, I'm actually going to rewrite equation 2. I'm going to have equation 2. I'm going to get p over to this side, so t's on its own. So t equals 13 minus p. Okay, that's equation number 3. And now we can sub for t in 1. Okay, so where it says t in equation 1, we're going to put the value of t, which is 13 minus p. So we have 15 times 13 minus p, and you'll notice that we can't get away from that 13 times 15 that we had to do in the other side. It's still that big multiplication there, but otherwise it's a similar process. So the rest of the equation, plus 16p equals 200. All right, so we already know that 15 times 13 is 195. 15 times negative p is negative 15p, plus 16p equals 200. Okay, let's just group our like terms here. So we have p plus 195 equals 200, and once we solve that, we know that p is 5. And again, what I would do from here is I would sub for p into, what equation was it? Equation number 2. Okay, so we know that t plus 5 equals 13. And if we take away 5 from both sides, we know that t is 8. So we can get there either way. Sometimes you might find one method easier than the other. In fact, I think this substitution, the elimination method here was an easier way to do it, although in reality the difficulty is about the same.